Hi and welcome back to my breastfeeding support channel, Kindness Milk. I hope you're all well. Let us take a brief look today at how to reduce temporary supplemental feeds when you're ready to do so. Sometimes for various reasons full breastfeeding is not or not yet possible and you're combination feeding either by medical or personal necessity or by choice. If you want to, you can fast forward here now to hear about the different approaches for reducing supplemental feeds, but I would love if you stick around just for a minute so I can introduce you to my new online e-course, Protecting Breastfeeding When Combination Feeding, which is now available on my website kindnessmilk.com for €20. Despite the WHO recommendation to breastfeed exclusively for 6 months, and to continue breastfeeding for up to 2 years or longer, alongside the introduction of adequate complementary solid foods, combination feeding remains a very common infant feeding method for many parents. Whether combination feeding is a medical necessity or a personal choice, it sometimes enables parents and babies to breastfeed for longer when otherwise they would have perhaps stop breastfeeding altogether. Hi, my name is Regina Kincaid. I'm an international board certified lactation consultant and a mum of 5. And in this video course, I would like to share some tips which can help you to protect and maintain your level of milk supply when combination feeding, mainly with a bottle, so that your baby can successfully move between breast and bottle and you can breastfeed for as long as you wish to. But now back to today's video topic. Always check with your healthcare provider first whether you and your baby are actually ready to reduce supplemental feeds, i.e. to check that you don't have any underlying conditions for low milk supply or ineffective milk transfer. And also make sure that you have a review plan in place for reassessment of baby's general condition, weight and milk supply, so that you know that you're reducing supplemental feeds at the right pace. Generally, whether you have been supplementing at the breast with a supplemental nursing system with express breast milk and or formula, or you've been offering express breast milk and or formula additionally to pumping in a bottle or with a different alternative feeding method, here are some of the signs that are reassuring, that may tell you that you're now ready to reduce supplemental feeds. Some of these signs are more obvious, objective measures, and some are more subtle signs that you can rely on. So one of the very reassuring signs, telltale signs, is that your baby is consistently gaining 150 to 200 grams per week. They have learned to latch better and more comfortably and are now better at milk transfer, which could be a result of a better latch and or increase in milk supply. So you may see your baby showing you more active sucks and audible swallows during breastfeeding. They also have the right amount of wet and dirty nappies for their age. You may see that they are more content after a breastfeed. They are coming off the breast and showing you signs of fullness, such as opening their fist. They're content and they may have fallen asleep when they have had good milk transfer and may not always take the amount of formula offered after the feed. You may have also noticed that your breasts have started to become fuller through supplementing at the breast and or through pumping, and you may notice more letdowns and even experience and observe some leakage between feedings, although that may not be the case for everyone, even with a good milk supply. Reducing supplementation at the breast. When you're supplementing at the breast with a supplemental nursing device, can be done by adjusting the flow of milk through the tubing, and the ease with which this can be done depends a little bit on the device that you're using. Usually the milk flow with the supplemental nursing system can also be completely stopped if you want to stop the flow completely after some supplementation has been given. Then usually the tube can be clamped. But the use of a supplemental nursing system usually requires the support by a lactation consultant and also quite a lot of practice. So this in itself would be the topic for a separate video. If you're supplementing with a feeding bottle, then the following approaches are some of the common methods of reducing supplemental feeds. Of course, this depends very much on the number of feeds or top-ups and the volume per day and your individual circumstances. Finish at the breast. So this method can be used when the supplemental feeds are given as full feeds in bottles rather than a small amount of top-ups after each breastfeed. So every few days you would reduce the amount that you're offering your baby during that feed and then finish that feed at the breast. So next up is the bottle sandwich. So you're essentially sandwiching the bottle feed between two breastfeeds. So where you would normally breastfeed and then perhaps offer a top up with express breast milk or formula, you're now reducing that top up by a small amount and then offering the breast after again. So you're breastfeeding, offering the supplementation but with a reduced amount and then finishing at the breast. And then there are stretch feeds. So this is a method you can also try when you're giving full bottle feeds instead of a breastfeed. So when you're ready to drop or skip a bottle feed, then you would pick that feed and just only breastfeed until the next bottle feed would normally be due, and that may mean that the baby will breastfeed several times until that next bottle feed. You could also, if it's a large volume of a bottle that your baby is taking between two breastfeeds, you can also drop to half of the volume first and before completely skipping that bottle feed so that you're not going too fast. But essentially it's leaving out the bottle feed completely where you bottle fed, just breastfeeding till you would offer the bottle again. So I hope this has given you a little bit of an idea on how to go about reducing supplemental feeds when you're ready to move to more exclusive breastfeeding. Let me know in the comments where you are at on your infant feeding journey, and also don't forget to subscribe and check out my new e-course Protecting Breastfeeding When Combination Feeding on kindnessmilk.com. It's very much appreciated. Thank you.